Alright, you guys, so I spent a little bit of time cleaning up a lot of those eyesores. I tied a whole bunch of knots and cut them down, okay? And you can leave your hat like this and just wear it. But just for completion's sake, I'm going to attach a drawstring to this, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this charcoal and some of this turquoise, and I'm going to use the black to crochet over it. But basically I'm going to measure out, I'm going to put these together and measure out a certain length, okay, that I want my drawstring to be, okay? And you can make it as long or short as you want. And actually, I think I'm going to add the green in there as well. So I'm going to measure out a certain length, however long I want it to be, and I think that'll be plenty long. I'm going to cut all three of those. Okay, and now I'm going to tie a knot at one end. Alright, so I've tied my knot. I have my 3 strands. I grabbed my 10mm, and that is US crochet hook. And now I'm going to just make some chains. Okay, so I'm going to turn this like this and kind of feed this through my fingers like I normally would if I was about to crochet anything else. And then I'm going to do this. Okay, so I'm going to take it, put it in like that, wrap it around like that. Okay, so do it again. Take your crochet hook, put it like that, wrap it around like that. And now I'm going to wrap all 3 strands around my crochet hook, and then I'm going to chain. So just pull your crochet hook through. Okay, you might lose it like that. Just pull it out if you do, and do it again. Okay, so go behind like that, wrap, so rotate, yarn over, and then you can hold it there. What I'm doing is I'm holding these down there, and I'm trying to open up a little hole so it'll pull through easily. Okay, and I just want to make sure that all 3 colors are on my crochet hook, which they are. So that's 1 chain, that's 2 chain, that's 3 chain. Every time you pull through, make sure all 3 colors are on the crochet hook. If not, that means you lost one. You need to pull it out and start over. Okay, and so on. So continue chaining until you run out of yarn, or you're almost out of yarn, and then we're going to tie a knot at this end as well. I will see you there. So you might be surprised to see that even though you had really long strands, after you chained, it shortened up quite a bit. Okay, so if you did not make your strands long enough, then just crochet some more. By the way, this is going to be 1 drawstring. Okay, so it's going to be on one side of the hat. Let me show you what I mean, because it's probably not that clear. So we're going to attach it to this corner, and then we're going to make another one and attach it to this corner. Okay, at first I was going to crochet over this, but I decided to change my mind. So once you get to your desired length, then we can finish this off. So the way we're going to tie a knot is essentially by fastening off. Right now that's how much yarn I have left, so I don't want to try to make another chain. So basically I'm just going to pull through like that and tighten, and that's how we have a knot. So now I'm going to grab 3 more strands and make another one of these, and I'll meet you once I get that second drawstring, if you will, made. See you there. And just a little tip, if you're trying to make sure you get this drawstring of a comparable length to this one, just count the number of chains, and it should roughly be the same length, assuming that you are maintaining the same tension. Alright, see you once I get these equal to one another, congruent. Alright, so you can see that that worked very well for me. I just counted out the number of chains I had for this one, crocheted that same number, and then it worked. They're the same length. Alright, so what we're going to do now, you guys, is on the end where we fastened off, right? We're going to use these extra tail, and you can leave, you know, just enough to tie a couple of knots to attach it to the hat. Okay, so we're going to use these tails to attach these tassels, these drawstrings, if you will, to our hat. Alright, so let's turn this over, and just want to kind of go in the corner there, and we'll use, if you have a smaller crochet hook, you can use a smaller one. It might be easier for you to get into these stitches. If not, just use the size 10 that you've been using all along, and just go in the corner there. Okay, like that. Then you're going to yarn over all 3 strands and then pull through to the other side, all 3 strands like that. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Now we're just going to tie a couple of knots, and you can pull this up closer. Right now it has all that space, so you can pull it up closer, right, like that, so there's less space, and then tie a couple of knots. So 1, and then let's do it again. 2. Okay. Alright. And then you can cut these down, but I'll deal with that a little bit later. Now let's get to the other side over here. So we take this one. Remember, this is where we fastened off. So we're going to use our crochet hook once again to go through the corner. That one was much easier. Yarn over with all 3 strands and just pull through. Pull up, and all 3 come out, pop out to the other side. Now we can pull that up so it's closer, and then tie a couple of knots. 1, and then we'll tie another knot with all 3 strands. So I want to start it over because I'm a perfectionist. You guys know that. Alright, and 2. Okay. Now you can weave in these tails if you want, you know, before you cut them down, especially these 3 colors because all of them are in the general area, or you can just cut them down. You've tied a couple of knots, so it should be secure. And same thing over here. Alright, so I'm going to do that. I'll just cut them down. Alright, and now we've added these bad boys to our tam, okay? Now you might be wondering, what about this edge? Okay, and if you don't like that space, then you can tie another knot to kind of make it a little bit less of a space, and to make it a bigger knot, and that space right there, just tie another knot. You guys can probably tell that I kind of do things just as I feel like doing them, right? I mean, perfect example is that I was going to crochet and it was going to be a true drawstring, but then last minute I decided to change it up. That's just how I am, you guys. I'm like that type of cook who doesn't really measure anything. You know, I just kind of do it by eye. Same thing with crocheting, okay? So you could leave them like this. You could kind of comb these strands out, you know, kind of separate them if you want. You could make a couple of pom-poms and add the pom-poms to the end. You have so many options. I'm just going to leave them like this for now. But yeah, this is the tam, and this is how you add a couple of drawstrings to the tam. So if you need to tighten, you just, you know, tie a couple of knots like that, and it'll fit more securely on your head. Alright guys, that is going to be it for this video, but you know, I will see you in the next one. In the meantime, happy crocheting!